Hello everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome to a new video and welcome to the first TBR video of 2022, my January TBR. And Happy New Year to everyone as well. I'm very excited for the new year. I'm excited for, I'm excited for the new year. It's like a fresh start, you know? So I feel like I'm not locked in to how I did TBRs last year. Not that it was anything like too difficult, but I don't know. I feel like I can do whatever I want this year. So last year in my TBRs, I had 3 monthly challenges to do. And this year I'm not doing that at all. I just want to embrace being a mood reader and read whatever I want. So these books that I'm putting on my TBRs are books that I definitely want to get to and I hope to get to in this month, but if I don't get to them, it's not like I have to complete a challenge or anything like that. So I won't feel so guilty about not getting to them because I do feel guilty about not getting to the books I put on my TBR. But this year it's going to be more like here's what I'm in the mood to pick up right now, but that could change. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So even though I said I'm not doing any monthly reading challenges anymore for this year, I do still want to do a monthly reread. It was really fun to try to get myself to have a reread every month and see what reread I was gonna pick. I mostly do this without even thinking, so it's really not that hard because I reread a lot. But this month I definitely want to reread Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I started my reread of this series last year and I started this book, I got 38 pages in, which when I reread this, I'm just going to start over. But I started it and then I got into such a huge romance reading mood and I wasn't in the mood for reading fantasy. So I set this book down and I didn't pick it back up for the rest of the year. But now I'm back into a fantasy reading mood and I just really, really want to get back in the world with these characters. So I'm very excited for this reread. So this will definitely be happening this month because I've just been looking forward to picking this book back up. It's my favorite in the series. So yes, I cannot wait to read this one. There is also one of my most anticipated releases of the year is already coming out right away in January. I think it comes out January 4th. And that is Where the Drowned Girls Go by Shauna McGuire. This is book 6. I always do this. No, it's book 7. Book 7 in the Wayward Children series. This one is all about the drowned girls. We met a drowned girl in one of the previous books, so I'm really, really looking forward to this one. Last year's installment, Across the Greengrass Fields, was not my favorite in the series. In fact, it was my least favorite of all of the books. So I'm really hoping that Where the Drowned Girls Go is going to be a super fun read. They're all 200 pages or less, and yeah, I just look forward to the Wayward Children's installment every year. And I'm so glad that they come out right away in January, so I don't have to wait that long. So as soon as this one comes out, I will be purchasing it and I will be reading that one for sure. And then right away at the beginning of January is going to be the start of the Winterween Readathon, which is hosted by Gabby from Gabby Reads and Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte, which I have participated in all of the Summerween, Winterween, and Camp Weekend Ween. I've participated in all of them since they've started it, and so I'm not going to be breaking my streak now. But the same thing happened last year when they did Winterween, where I was in a fantasy reading mood and not a thriller reading mood. But I do have a couple thrillers that I want to get to this month, so I figured Winterween was the perfect time to pick them up. So the first one is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I have never read this book. I have never watched the movie, but I have been slightly spoiled for what happens in this, but I've heard that it's still worth reading and that it's a really, really good thriller and that there's I don't know. I've just heard really good things about it. It's a lot of people's favorites. So Chloe from Books with Chloe made this her Patreon book club pick. So I want to pick it up for that because I think it's her first time reading it as well. And yeah, I've just been kind of putting it off for a while because I kind of got spoiled for it, but I do think I want to read this and I have the audiobook checked out for my library. So I'll probably be picking this one up for Winterween. And then the other book that I'm putting on my Winterween TBR, my January TBR, is No Exit by Taylor Adams. I DNF'd this a couple years ago. I think I got about 100 pages in and I quit. But everybody I know that has read this has raved about how amazing it is and how it's one of their favorite thrillers and it's so action-packed and so good. And Ashley from Ashley's Little Library loved this book, and she is literally the only reason why I didn't immediately unhaul this. So I've been keeping it with the idea that I was going to give it a second chance literally just for Ashley. Our reading tastes are just so similar, and there's very, very few books that we don't agree on. So it's a pretty safe bet that if Ashley liked it, then I will also like it. So I want to give this a second chance, and it is a thriller set in a snowstorm, so it's perfect for Winterween. And yeah, I think the time has come to finally give this book a second chance, and if I don't like it the second time, then it's gonna go. So yeah, those are the only 2 books I'm gonna put on my Winterween TBR right now. I think maybe like during the week of Winterween, I'll select some other books. I don't know, maybe I'll only read those 2, we'll see. But like I said, I want to embrace being a mood reader, so I don't want to set too many books on my TBR that I might not get to. So now I have 2 other books that I would like to try to get to in January. The first one is A Spindle Splintered by Alex E. Harrow. This was very kindly gifted to me for Christmas from Ashley's Little Library. And she's literally the reason why I added this to my TBR and like why I put it on my wish list in the first place. So I love it when that happens, where I put a book on my wish list because of someone and then that's the person who gifts it to me. It just makes it even more special. But yeah, this is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. It's a little novella, and I think this is in a series, and I've read from Alex E. Harrow before. I read The 10,000 Doors of January, which I really, really liked. And then I started, but didn't finish, The Once and Future Witches. But I think I just wasn't in the mood for it at the time, so I do want to give it a second chance eventually. But yeah, this sounds really, really interesting, and I love the fact that it's a novella. It has like illustrations in it and stuff. But yes, I definitely want to get to this one in January. And thank you again, Ashley, for gifting this to me. I love you. And then the last book that I'm going to put on my January TBR is Witch Shadow by Susan Dennard. This is the 5th book in the Witchlands series. The first book is Truth Witch. And I reread the whole Truth Witch series. I don't know if you can see it from there. I reread all of those last year in anticipation for this book being released. And then my romance reading mood hit, and I didn't pick up a single fantasy for months on end, which is so out of character for me because fantasy is my favorite genre. But yeah, I never got to pick this one up like when it got released, so I have just been putting it off until I'm in a fantasy mood, and I am. So now I'm ready to read this. I do wish that I had like just finished rereading the series, so it was still really fresh in my head, but I still know everything that happened. I still remember everything, so I'm okay to like jump right into this. I guess technically this is classified as book 4. It even says right here, book 1, book 2, novella, book 3. But I still consider Sight Witch like to be book 3, even though it's a novella, because it's really important. It's just not following the same characters. So I guess this is book 4, but to me it's book 5. But yeah, I am excited to finally get to this one. I'm not sure if this is the finale. I think there's one more book coming out for sure after this book, so I don't think this is the finale, but I am really excited to continue on with the story and see what the characters are up to from where we left off in Blood Witch. So yes, those are all of the books that I'm going to be putting on my January TBR. Hopefully I can get to all of them and then some. Let me know in the comments down below what books you are excited to pick up right away to start the new year off, and if you are participating in Winterween, what books you're picking for Winterween. And thank you again so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!